Another way when the walls are closing in. And when I look at the space between where I used to be and this reckoning, I know I will never be alone. There was another in the fire, standing next to me. There was another in the waters, holding back the seas. And should I ever need reminding of how I've been set free, there is a cross that bears the burden.
Good evening, everyone. It has been more than 50 days since we last saw each other in person. I pray po and I hope na everyone is doing well and okay po today. Yan. Tonight po, para po sa mga ngayon lang po nag-tune in sa ating mga midweek videos, we are in the middle of a series called Untouchable. In this series, it explains how we can become untouchable, not just physically, but also spiritually from fears, doubts, worries, and troubles in our lives. Lalo-lalo na po ngayon na we are in the middle of a crisis. So today, we are going to talk about being untouchable by faith. Meron pong isang story sa Bible that depicts this literally and metaphorically. That is the story of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. How they become untouchable in all aspects they have by faith. Their story started when King Nebuchadnezzar made a statue of gold and then dineclare po niya na dapat yun lang ang sasambahin sa buong nation na hawak niya. This is exactly what he declared through a herald in Daniel chapter 3 verses 4 to 6. Basahin ko po siya sa NIV. It says here, "Then the herald loudly proclaimed, 'Nations and peoples of every language, this is what you are commanded to do. As soon as you hear the sound of the horn, flute, zither, lyre, harp, pipe, and all kinds of music, you must fall down and worship the image of gold that King Nebuchadnezzar has set up. Whoever does not fall down and worship will immediately be thrown into a blazing furnace.'" Then, after po nito, pinatugtog po nila yung mga music ng horn, flutes, and everything else. And King Nebuchadnezzar thought everyone followed him. But some astrologers po, naging tattletale. Ibig sabihin po, nag-ingay po sila about certain Jews and they were very specific po kung sino po ito. Kung sino po sila, actually. This is what they said in Daniel chapter 3, verse 12. Basahin ko po muli in NIV version. "But there are some Jews whom you have set over the affairs of the province of Babylon, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who pay no attention to you, your majesty. They neither serve your gods nor worship the image of gold you have set up." Nung nalaman po ito ni King Nebuchadnezzar, sobra po siyang nagalit. So, ang ginawa po niya, pinatawag po niya yung tatlo, tinanong po niya kung totoo, and he even tried to give them a chance to bow down again to the God na create niya, and then proceed to mock God na worship ni Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego na may ililigtas ba sila nito sa burning furnace? So, kaso, nung pinasagot niya na yung tatlo, medyo mas nagalit siya lalo sa sinabi nila. This is what exactly they said in Daniel chapter 3 verses 16 to 18. Again, I will be reading at the NIV version. It says, "Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego replied to him, 'King Nebuchadnezzar, we do not need to defend ourselves before you in this matter. If we are thrown in the blazing furnace, the God we serve is able to deliver us from it, and he will deliver us from your majesty's hand. But even if he does not, we want you to know, your majesty, that we will not serve your gods or worship the image of gold you have set up.'" Grabing faith yan. In front of the king, when they are asked to bow down to another god, they displayed the attitude of a person untouchable by faith. The trust and comfort that even if they are going to face their death, they remain faithful to God. This angered Nebuchadnezzar to the core that he asked the servants to make the furnace 7 times hotter, then asked the strongest of his guards to tie them up to the point that they can't move. Kasi yun lang po yung logical na naiisip eh. Because the best way to destroy faith is to instill fear, doubts, and hopelessness. Fear of the burning fire, doubts, and hopelessness of getting out because they are bound and have nothing else to do. So, they were thrown to the fire, bounded, and full of clothes. So, isipin po natin, no, pag tayo po yung binato doon na nakatali at punong-puno po ng clothes, madali po talaga tayong masusunog kasi hindi ka na makakagalaw at the same time, mas madali pong masunog ang clothes. So, mahaplusan ka lang ng apoy, patay ka na. Since 7 times hotter ito, panigurado, mag-melt kagad yung skin mo from this. Then they watched. King Nebuchadnezzar watched. then saw something impossible. He was very sure. Alam niya na at lahat ng mga tao sa paligid niya na 3 lang yung tinapon nila doon bakit doon. Pero bakit 4 yung nakikita niya? Tapos, alam niya na nakabound sila, pero hindi na sila nakatali. At parang nag-i-enjoy pa sila dun sa loob ng apoy. Parang walang nangyayari sa kanila. And yung pang-4 nilang kasama, ang weird pa, kasi hindi siya mukhang tao. He was so amazed about what is happening inside. And he wanted to know. Nandun yung curiosity ni Nebuchadnezzar na, anong nangyayari? So, he called them out. Tinawag niya yung 3, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, come out. And they did. And they were expecting scorch marks. Yung, kung nakakita na po kayo ng taong nasunog, or nakasurvive sa house fire, sa mga palabas, ganun po yung itsura nila. Madumi, maitim yung katawan, panigurado may mga nasunog na parts sa katawan nila, or nasunog na clothes, or nasunog na hair. Pero nung lumabas po yung 3, kung ano po yung itsura nila nung pumasok sila, ganun pa rin po yung itsura nila paglabas nila. Isn't that amazing? Walang trace o touch ng apoy sa katawan nila. Even sa mga kanilang mga damit at ulo na madaling masunog. Grabe si Lord, no? Grabe yung ginawa niya dito. And in the end, kinain din ni King Nebuchadnezzar lahat ng sinabi niya about kay God. He said exactly in Daniel chapter 3 verses 28 to 29. I'll read it again in the NIV version. It says, Then Nebuchadnezzar said, Praise be the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, who has sent his angel and rescued his servants. They trusted in him and defied the king's command and were willing to give up their lives rather than serve or worship any god except their own God. Therefore, I decree that the people of any nation or language who say anything against the God of Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego be cut into pieces, and their houses be turned into piles of rubble, for no other God can save in this way. What a great turnaround! By defying what the king ruled and sticking to their faith, nanindigan sila on what they believe and fully trusting God, they become untouchable, physically and spiritually. I don't need to make points, kapatid, to point out to you how they become untouchable because it was pretty obvious. It was in the story itself. Ginawa nila, sinabi nila, at nangyari. All they need to do is to put their faith in God. They were untouchable. Right now, we are touched by the fire of fear, the fire of uncertainty, the fire of sadness, the fire of doubt, the fire of hopelessness, sorrow, and pain. Ngayon, we are being consumed by our own thoughts, our own worries, our own doubts, our own feelings. We are in the middle of the furnace right now. 7 times hotter than usual. Because this time, we are faced with death. Potentially, we can die because of this virus. Yet, I believe through God, we can come out of this unscathed. Maybe not with the virus, but by fear, by doubts, and everything in between. By faith, we can be untouchable. And what is the basis of faith, kapatid? Trust. As I end, I saw this Facebook post nung panahon po na nag-iisip ako paano ko sisimulan yung sermon ko for Midweek. Then a good friend of mine shared this post by the Twitter user Can Santos. It said, and I quote, yan, palabasin po natin yung image, Trust. Hindi naman tinanggal ni God yung apoy nung sinunog si Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. He went with them in the fire. Kasi sometimes, it's not about God changing your situation, but it's about God letting you know that He's with you in it, and you will get through this. This situation right now, maybe it's not yet time to pull us out from this situation. But God is letting us know that He is with us right now and we will get through this. All we have to do is to trust Him. Kapatid, we will get through this. We will be untouchable by faith and He will be with us. Trust, kapatid. It's all about trust. So I challenge you tonight, after we pray, reach out to your friends, family, and people you know that are struggling, especially with their families and as of front lines. Reach out to them and tell them this, that God is with us and we have each other to get through this. That right now, the situation is far from being resolved. Wala pa nga pong vaccine eh. But let us hope for that day that this will end. That we will come out of the furnace just like Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, unscathed and full of promises from God. Kasi after po nilang lumabas, they were promoted. They were given the resources they never asked before. So laban lang, kapatid. Tiwala lang sa Kanya. Let us pray. Our Heavenly Father, natatakot po kami. Nahihirapan, nagluluksa, at nalulungkot sa nangyayari sa labas ng aming tahanan. We pray, Lord God, tonight that you envelope us with your presence. We put our trust in you, Lord, and we will hold on to your promises that everything will be alright. Because we know that you are a faithful God, and you will never leave us or forsake us. Lord, we pray for the people in the front lines, the hospital workers, the soldiers and police, the delivery drivers, even the people in the non-essential aspects such as the head of the house, the breadwinners, the church workers, the volunteers, and the people who have no choice but to come out and work to have food on their table. Lord, I pray that you envelope them with your presence and protection. Make them untouchable from this virus, Lord God. Bring healing to those suffering with or without this virus in their system. Bring comfort to those who lost their loved ones through this. Bring strength to those who are weak right now. Lord, we trust in you and we trust in your power. Lord, as we end this night, we ask that we become a channel of your blessings to others. Give us the courage to reach out and encourage other people in our own little ways. Give us the means to help and the means to bring your love to others. We ask for a fresh anointing to do your will, and that is to share your unconditional love to others. This we ask in your mighty and holy name.